Here we are once again
What's up?
on
What's up, everybody?
Mr. Senor C. Bruce. Welcome to the stage. How we doing?
Good. Still light out. Great. Yeah, 7 o'clock here in Central Time Zone. The fact that I can still see lightness makes me very happy.
Best time of year.
Love to see it.
Fantastic. Well, we're here every Tuesday. Actually, not every Tuesday. Every Tuesday in the winter up until Masters season. And on Masters Thursday, we will transition to Community Thursday. So mark your calendars. That will be on April 11th this year, which is fantastic date for it to be. Very excited for the Masters. The golf season has already been very exciting this year. Scotty Scheffler has been performing quite well the past 2 weeks. Um, there's some chatter about him being the best golfer since Tiger. So, what do y'all think? Is Scotty? Can he do that? Is he gonna supersede Rahm's run, Rory's run in the past few years, and does he have staying power? I guess is my question.
I mean, everything he's doing seems to be sustainable. His ball striking is incredible. The strokes gained data shows that very few people over a sustained period of time has hit the ball as well as he has. It's hard to think that he won't. I was a little concerned with the injury, and which he still gutted through it, but will he win the Masters? I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to win golf tournaments. But I can't wait. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Um, but he looks amazing. It's just like even with him throwing those like off-speed pitches all weekend, he still was able just to make people look pretty silly. I know it was close at the end. There was a missed putt for playoff, but just just amazing. It's hard to even put into context how good he is right now.
I just love that, like, the best ball striker since Tiger Wing look insane. That just makes me so happy. Feet sliding everywhere, doing little dances after he hits. He gives me hope, also, which is a good thing.
The unorthodox swingers out there just really appreciating getting a look at that.
Swing your swing, man. It's all about
I
it.
also, oh, my bad, Mr. Senor Hill. But I wanted to mention, I think his game is just to hit it into the green side bunker. Like that is Scotty's game. He does not take risks in the rough at all. Like if he could avoid the rough at any cost, that is his goal. And it's very interesting to see. I think I don't know how good Scott. I think the rough. It's so unpredictable to hit out of. I don't know how Scotty would do. I don't know how the sand is on tour. I don't know if it's the same everywhere they go or if it's the similar quality at least. But it seems that he just shoots for those greenside bunkers and uses them to the best of his advantage. And I don't see a lot of other players doing the same thing right now.
He seems to be missing in really good areas too. Like the targets he's picking seem to be like he's just playing really intelligent golf out there. And like Mr. Senor
Right.
said, like almost off speed pitches, like just playing super intelligent and not, over muscling it, right? And just playing smart golf.
Right.
Yeah. And when he's sinking putts, it's tough to be anyone else out there. Well, super stoked to see. I don't think I'd bet against him for the Masters right now, but I do know I wish I was at that Masters dinner. John Rahm's menu looks slamming. Um, I don't know if you guys saw that today, but boy,
Retweet. It looks so
my,
good.
my mouth was watering reading that menu. It's so good.
Is it true that I read today that he has to pay for it? I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. There's like it's very difficult to distinguish these things these days, but is it true that all of that comes out of his pocket? Does anyone know?
Bucks is saying no. The account that I saw looked legit, right? But
Yeah,
anyone could go out online and tweet that in golf Twitter, and we'd have no idea
sure.
if it's accurate. Um, I take Bucks's word on it. Hank might have some expert opinion on this as well. Anyone who's an ANGC, Hank says yes, the winner does pay for the dinner. Okay, so we've got conflicting opinions here. Either way, I mean, he can afford it, you know.
Sure. I just think you
I
feel
guess
like
the
you
national
incentivize.
can.
Go
Augusta
ahead.
can afford it too. I'm pretty certain. Just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Is it a
Um,
tax write-off?
I don't know. This is out of my depth. I'm still reeling
Business
from.
dinner.
We need
Uh,
accountants, tax professionals, and someone who's a member at ANGC to clear this up for us.
I'm really cheap. I would just do like hot dog. I would go to the stand and just get like a peach ice cream sandwich, tomato cheese sandwich, and just serve that. Pocket it.
Do you remember how mad people were at Scotty's dinner? Like for how basic it was? I think it was just
Yeah.
sliders. I think he just had like sliders for dinner and some ice cream.
You must have to think that like he knows that people are going to troll him for being boring, so he's just like big brained, coming up with the most boring dinner possible.
It's kind of like Jokic. It's like these Americans
Yeah,
don't understand.
exactly.
My other question is, do they bring in their own chef for this? Like, I mean, I know he had his mom's lentil soup recipe, but like, is he flying over his favorite chef from Spain to cook this dinner, or is someone at ANGC gonna just look at some of these recipes and spin it out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I immediately had the question of like where are they also sourcing the ingredients from,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But
Yeah. Who would have the worst dinner menu? if They won the Masters. That's a great question. We should take a poll on
Cantley, I
that.
mean, what was Patrick? I'm actually gonna go look at what Patrick Reed's menus were. Yeah, I'm with you, Proxy. We know.
That's great. It's a really good question. Drop your answer in the chat for who would have the worst Masters. Yeah, some of the British guys, it'd be like, no offense to our UK friends, but bangers and mash, probably not the most slamming of meals. I agree with you there, Seabers. Oh man, don't have to worry about reward. It'd be cool to see him do something, but tough look for sure. The memes of him being the waiter at the dinner were tough out there today.
Patrick Reed 2019, like pretty much down the middle of the fairway. Caesar salad or a wedge salad. Prime bone-in ribeye with herb butter. Fish available upon request was mountain trout. Mac and cheese, corn creme brulee. I love that dish. Cream spinach, steamed broccoli, and then uh, dessert was tiramisu, vanilla bean creme brulee, chocolate crunch, and praline cheesecakes. I mean, it's kind of like a J. Alexander's menu, but I'm here for it. Like,
Yeah, perhaps Max Homa and I would both be on the same page with Dino Nugs. I mean, Dino Nugs are fantastic. Um, Fitzpatrick. Yeah. Yeah, that's down the menu with Patrick Reed. I agree that's a fairway shot. Nothing too bold there, but definitely excited for those who get to attend Rombo's dinner. That's going to be pretty cool. Um, yeah. For those of us who want to simulate playing in some golf and eating real dinner but at home, Dom, what are we doing in PGA 2K this week? And I apologize for that clumsy transition. That was not my best.
No worries. We're heading to the Valspar at I'm sorry, we're heading to Copperhead at Innisbrook, the Valspar Championship. We're hosting a watch party for this, and we'll also be able to play it on 2K. You can play it on 2K on either Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. 4 rounds this weekend. Last weekend we followed TPC Sawgrass. It was pretty cool. After doing this for 2 years, I am starting to recognize the holes, and I think playing 2K is helping out a lot with this. So if you guys are interested in kind of digging into how the courses play, if you aren't able to play them in real life or haven't played them in real life, play them on 2K, and just to be able to connect a little bit more. I understood like the holes they could better have a birdie opportunity on last week versus just kind of I guess the perspective I had before, which is like people would be talking about the Masters and being like, okay, how could you realistically judge what this person's going to end up scoring by the end here? And I mean that does come with experience, but I am boosting that experience by playing 2K, by playing the courses, understanding what is and what isn't, and why things are the way they are. So yeah, hop on PlayStation and hop on Xbox, PC. Play this weekend at Copperhead. It's a pretty tough course from what I remember. Very windy. No coincidence, it's named after a snake. And we're also having a DraftKings contest, a DFS contest. So make sure to check out the members chat. I've dropped a link in there. It's a $5 entry. And I also just want to thank everybody for playing so far this year. And I also want to thank everybody for coming to the watch party this weekend. It looked like a lot of people were interested all weekend in what was going on. The Players truly is the fifth major.
Dom, I love that take on the 2K because like playing Spay Bay on 2K, made me feel like I knew the course beforehand, and you can do that with a lot of like other courses. I was thinking for our signature event series, we should see which of the courses for our signature events this year are on 2K, and we should spin those into the agenda as those come up because it can definitely improve your gameplay and you get to know the course a lot better. Whether you're watching it on TV or playing it in real life. So love that take. Additionally, if you are interested in the DraftKings contest, we also have our March Madness tournament, which is live and open for everybody. So I'll drop that in here. Go post your brackets. I've just filled mine out. I get a different one every time I fill out the bracket, but I'm pretty sure I have Arizona dethroning UConn this year in the end. But should be a fantastic tournament this year. Who do y'all have for winners? Any bold upsets?
No, I'm still reeling from the news that one of Kansas's best players out for the tournament. We're gonna get bounced in the first round. I'll say UConn until someone can beat them.
Mr. Senior, you aren't the guy that takes Kansas every year.
No, I have very realistic expectations for how they tend to perform. I definitely didn't have them the year they won. They haven't had a team of quality to win the tournament in a while. They got lucky in 19.
Nice. I've watched so little college basketball this year. I don't even feel qualified to make a pick, Coop.
You have just like
That's
a
how I feel.
favorite team?
um, it's a good question. It's a good question. Not really. I don't feel really strongly about any team this year, I will say. Although I'm still very much going to enjoy watching as much basketball as possible.
Nice. Dom, who's your choice? You have a favorite mascot? You're going by just city affiliations.
I'm going by city affiliations. Shout out to Zach, Zed76. I'm going with SDSU. Not to win, but I'm just going to cheer for this team. I think, I don't know. That something about them being in the top left of the bracket looks great.
Nice.
And I also want to say I watched the NC State versus North Carolina game. So I think, and I just like Mint Condition saying, like I think North Carolina can get bullied here.
Gonna be a fun tournament. I'm also hoping for St. Peter's to pull a big upset against Tennessee in Charlotte this upcoming weekend. I think that'd be a good first round break. But yeah, get your brackets posted. The deadline on that is 12 noon on Thursday the 21st. So you have a little bit of time, but time will fly by. So get those brackets, and you can do 2 brackets per person, and name your bracket after your Discord ID if you don't mind, so that we can keep track and get in touch with you in the event that you win. And also, I heard Warren Buffett also goes by Discord ID when he pays out the $1 billion for the perfect bracket. So make sure you post that up there so he can find you as well. I'll kick it over to talk. I mentioned signature event series, but signature events, Bay, course votes. C. Bruce, what do you got for us this evening?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of stuff going on over the past few weeks. So, yeah, just on signature events first, we did release our wave one of events last week, which they are on sale now, although the vast majority of them ended up selling out very quickly. So, which is obviously great to see. We had some awesome venues on the slate this year, and so great that a ton of Links members are going to be able to get out and see those courses. Right now, I think the only events that have any spots left, and it's just a couple, are Meadow Club, which is north of SF, and then Rustic Canyon, which is north of LA. Both of those are coming up pretty soon here. Rustic Canyon's in April. Meadow Club's in May 7th, I believe. Both great courses, and going to have a good crew of Links folks at both of them as well. So if you're in the area or, might be traveling through the area, definitely check it out. Rustic Canyon's a great course, Gohan's design, more kind of modern and recent. Meadow Club, Alistair McKenzie's first course in the U.S., very close to SF, and I know we have a ton of members in the SF area. And they don't do too many events there, so it's awesome that we've been able to get connected there and make that available to Links members. So those are the only ones available today. We will be releasing Wave 2 soon. It's not coming this week or anything like that, but in the coming weeks, we'll make some additional announcements, and we'll give folks a little bit of a heads up and on the dates and venues and everything, and then release them at a given time. But we do have, I will say, some awesome new venues that will be added to the list. So definitely keep your eye out. Some additional top 100 courses will be out there, and we will be hitting some new geographies. You probably saw that from the list of events that we had. We made sure we got some events on the West Coast. It's been awesome to see. We're going to have some new states that we hit as well. So keep an eye out for that. And then I guess while we're on the events topic, we've had a ton of signature events that we've dropped over the past couple of weeks. We also still have the Spey Bay events that are up for sale. So if you're thinking of making a trip over to Scotland, definitely go check those out. And we've had a bunch of people sign up for all 5 of them, actually. But we do have spots available for each. And for at least a couple of the events, they're open to all Links members. And then the remaining 3 are open just to Spey Bay members. So again, it's going to be a really cool slate of events this year. We've got our summer solstice. We'll be playing golf for 18 hours straight, and the Scottish Highland dinner at night in Gordon Castle down the road, basically a Duke's castle. That's down the road from Spey Bay. It's going to be incredible. We've got our Links Ryder Cup coming up, which is going to be amazing. Kind of Europe versus US, or US versus international. I think it will turn out to be in October, and some other awesome events. So definitely check that out if you're thinking about making the trip over. I think that's it on the event front. Coop, did I miss anything?
That is it. Of course, we will be, looking at other events down the line, maybe some 5-iron stuff in the New York area, as well as some stuff out on the West Coast. And Wave 2, like you mentioned, is coming. So keep an eye out for all of that. And just to be sure that you get updates on everything, make sure your email is linked in Clubhouse. But I think you got it all. Yeah.
All right. Well, then, now that we're done with events, might as well get to the other big news from the past couple of weeks. So we obviously wrapped up the U.S. course vote So proposals 19, 20, and 21, a 3-pack that we had going, which ended last Tuesday, kind of during Community Tuesday. But just to recap, because we've seen some questions in the chat and just kind of where we stand after that. So, I mean, we've obviously taken a look at the results. Everyone can go take a look at them on Snapshot. But, you know, what kind of the conclusion, or, you know, how we read the results is, you know, there's kind of both courses got, you know, more or less the thumbs up from the community. It was clear in the head-to-head vote when we forced people to make a decision. It seemed to be a clear kind of priority for the Midwest course when needing to make a decision, but both of them were kind of over 50% yes. And so we will be continuing discussions with both of these. I mean, again, that's kind of what the votes are for, right? We said that repeatedly, but you know, these were put out there to ensure that you know, kind of the opportunities we're pursuing were aligned with what the community wanted, and the community was excited about the opportunities that we're looking at, which the votes seem to confirm. So we will be pushing forward with both. You know, given the priority, or you know, kind of the particularly strong response on the Midwest course, we'll be making sure to prioritize that as well. We'll actually be meeting with the owner of that course this week, continuing to push things forward there. So hopefully more news on that front soon. But yeah, so I think that's kind of the synopsis or the recap from the vote. Thanks for everyone who participated. It was obviously a huge part of what we're doing here, and we do want everyone's feedback as we're going through this process. And as we said, we're trying to get information out there for community feedback sooner in the process, even, you know, though we weren't at the point where we could do things like share the course names and everything like that. It was so awesome to get everyone's feedback and see all the participation in the vote. So thanks for everybody that showed up and that, you know, put their tokens to use on Snapshot.
Cheers, and thanks again to everybody who participated in the vote. Really excited about those next steps. It's going to be fantastic. Before we get into the Pro Shop previews this evening, I do want to reiterate Link's winter season of Link's Leagues is over. We will be finalizing the prizes. There's a little snafu with the prizes in that I won, and I don't need to take the first place prize. So we're going to get all that sorted and get prizes out. Folks like Zed, and I believe will move down the cycle for second and third. So stay tuned for that if you rated there. And then we will be launching a new season probably in April. Mr. Senor, does that sound right? We'll have some details coming out then.
Sir, with the pleasure, you and Chris. But yeah, we certainly possible. I think there's just some final details we need to figure out before making it go live.
Cool. Yeah, so stay tuned on that. We'll have it locked and loaded for golf season. Everybody can be out there playing. Going to be really, really fun. And yeah, to make sure that you are properly outfitted for this golf season. What's the lineup on new Pro Shop gear, Mr. Bruce?
Well, yeah, so it's getting to be that time of year. I'm getting close to our the time that we usually do a spring drop. So a few things to announce on that front this week. So we will be doing our at least initial spring Pro Shop drop next week at this time. So next Tuesday, March 26th at 8 Eastern is when we'll be dropping the spring Pro Shop items. And we're planning to do it a little differently this year. So the way that we're going to release the items is that we're going to make them kind of just available to members, early access for members for an initial period before we just put them kind of public and live and easily discoverable on the site. So that'll look actually very similar to how we did signature events and some of the other things that we've done. So first thing to note is if you haven't done it already, get your email address in Clubhouse, add it to your profile in Clubhouse, because that is how we sync all of that up and make sure that we're emailing the right folks that are identified as members. So we'll plan to do the same as we did for signature events. We'll email out a link. It will be a kind of private link that won't be discoverable for anyone just browsing on the site. So that's going to happen next week. A week from today, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Those will go out, and members will get early access to all of the gear that's dropping. And then, so that's logistics. And Coop, are we dropping pictures here? What are we doing? What level of leaks are we doing?
I have some pictures loaded up into chat here. I was going to ask you if I can hit enter.
I think you could hit enter. I think you could hit enter on some stuff.
Just a few. A couple previews. Just a
yeah. We don't have to do everything. But yeah, just to talk a little bit about what we've got going. Obviously, we're getting into peak golf season, so focus very much on golf apparel, golf gear. So we've heard a lot of requests for rope hats, and specifically Spade Bay rope hats. Those will be coming. We have a lot of new styles of polos. We got some requests for things, beyond just solids and stripes in the shop. So we've got some new designs of polos and new colorways, which is going to be fun. I particularly like the one that has it's basically like a Scotch bottle print, and it's a Spade Bay polo, which will be coming. So that's going to be fun. Obviously, Spade Bay is in the Speyside region of Scotland, which produces a ton of Scotch. So that's going to be a lot cool. We also have, that's going to be very cool. We will also have some new styles of Q-zips and other kind of springy transition season golf gear as well, that we have not carried in the shop before. At least a couple of these are new ones that are just getting released by the brands that we typically work with. So some very cool stuff that's coming. I think I'll leave it at that. We don't want to reveal everything tonight, but we have some really cool stuff coming. So reminder, next week at Community Tuesday time, we'll be emailing out the link for early access for members. Get your email and your Clubhouse profile if you haven't already to make sure you're on that list for when we do it next week.
Spot on. Yeah, good looking gear. We will continue to leak some stuff in advance of the community call and the stuff going live in the pro shop. We will also be doing some giveaways, so stay tuned on Twitter and Discord. Will be very good, advantageous for you to tune into Quiz House next week. Shout out Tungsten for another great week at Quiz House. We'll be doing that. That'll be Quiz House, I think 98. And so we're going to be ramping up some fun stuff going into Quiz House 100, which should be right around Masters. So stay tuned on that and get some opportunities to get some free gear, some golf balls, stuff like that. Going to be a great time. And then, of course, I do want to congratulate our two winners of the Links grass clippings competition. We are sending trees and Jelf to Arizona. Congratulations, great entries. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted an entry. Those were really fantastic videos and content, really, really fun to do. And a particularly big shout out, raising our glass, tip of the hat to a proxy who won the democratic process, but decided to turn over his spot to Jelf because of his better handicap, giving Links the best possible chance to win. So, a round of applause, a tip of the hat for a proxy. We'll have some special stuff coming your way out there in Arizona as this dials in. But yeah, fantastic. We're going to be doing more fun stuff like this all golf season. So stay tuned and be sure to root on Trees and Jelf in the chats as they compete for Links. Anybody have anything else this evening? Feel free to raise your hand, come up on stage, ask us, ping in the chat. We'll definitely watch party that a proxy for sure. but we will have a channel all set up for that. We'll go live everywhere. That's going to be a really fun event. Sweet. One other note, just because it's very important, we're going to be scheduling the next DAO call for early April, probably right around the Masters as well. So stay tuned on those details. But yeah, appreciate you all very much for being here, and we will keep the ball rolling. See you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.